everybody. Welcome. Come in, sit down, grab some water, stay hydrated. Welcome to episode 2 of Transmissions from the Cave. Can y'all hear me okay? Can I get a proof of life in the chat maybe? Yay! I'm so excited to be here. This is going to be a really good episode. I have a feeling that we're going to get a lot of questions in chat for these two creators. So, hi everybody. Hi. Yeah, let me know if you need me to like adjust my volumes. Higher, lower. Let me know that you can hear me. Heard. Thank you so much. All good. Thank you. Yeah, you know, there's always something when it's live. There's always something that happens. Thank you so much. Okay, so welcome. Transmissions from the Cave, episode 2, Nottingham. That's right. Today we're going to be focusing on Nottingham, the comic Nottingham, the incredibly popular comic Nottingham. I have some numbers here. Let me just we've gone into a couple of reprints, and by a couple I mean quite a few. So issue 1 is on the 4th print. Yeah, it's super popular and amazing. Okay, so issue 1 of Nottingham is on its 4th printing. Issue 2 is on its 3rd printing. And issue 3, which was supposed to come out today, it got pushed back, so it's coming out next week. So it's not even out yet, right? Like, it's not even in stores yet. It's on its 2nd printing. So claps for Mad Cave and the creators. This is incredible. Yeah, and Manny says a first for Mad Cave. Yeah. Just who knew, right? Who knew that a tale of redistribution of wealth would do so well in 2020, 2021? I wonder why. So we're super excited to have David Hazan and Shane Connery Volk here, the writer and the artist for Nottingham. Oh, and Allie says, if you have the digital subscription to Nottingham, you can dive into issue 3 today. Ooh, lucky ducks. That makes me want to get the digital subscription. Just cause. Okay. So yeah, welcome. Happy New Comic Book Day. We're going to be talking about some things that are out for Mad Cave today, some things that will be out that are out in previews or coming out next week. So like I said, we're focusing on Nottingham today, which will be out in local comic shops next week, but you can call your shop and tell them to, put a copy aside for you, especially when they're getting snatched up so quickly. 2nd printing already. Jeez. We're also going to be doing a giveaway. So this we'll be giving away 2 naked Nottingham variant covers. Line Breakers by Ekaterina Chisolova, and Comic Kingdom of Canada by Miko Suyan. Sorry, I tend to put a Spanish flair on everything. I'm so sorry. So if you want to win what's becoming an increasingly rare physical copies, stay till the end of the show. We'll be giving that away in like the last 10 minutes. So stay tuned. And we'll have a special word that we use, and that's how you can enter. So keep your eyes and ears open. Yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you, chat. Thank you to the mods. Snaps and claps to the mods. Okay, so new to Mad Cave this week, new that's out this week. Knights of the Golden Sun number 12 is out today, so you can go get that in comic shops today. And in Knights of the Golden Sun, the archangels must scour the earth for the pieces of God's armor in order to prevent them from bringing destruction upon the world, the likes of which have only been hinted at through the annals of history. In this issue, Gabriel ventures to hell to find another piece of the armor and finds more than he bargained for. Woo! Gabriel's getting into some trouble! So that is in issue number 12, which is out at comic book shops today. So when you go to the shop tonight, make sure you pick that up. If you haven't read it, pick up 1 through 11, maybe a trade paperback, treat yourself to something nice. Do something nice for yourself every day. And usually on Wednesdays for me, that's grabbing extra comics. And I'm sure that I'm just preaching to the choir there. Yeah. Happy new comic book day, cuz that's awesome. Cool. Oh, and just a heads up, I turned down some of the aggro on the auto mod, so she's not as I took away some of her claws. She's still got a couple of claws, so keep it nice in chat, keep it civil, be kind to each other, because she'll come get you. But she's not gonna yell at people for using caps, because we get excited, we tend to use caps, like, we get it. Last week she was little aggro about emojis. I personally love emojis, so she and I had a conversation, and Automod is like, all right, fine, people can use emojis, so feel free to throw as many emojis in the chat this time. She's not gonna come get you. Sorry about that. She was like, all right, we want a good, clean chat. I was like, yeah, but people also have to party, so yeah, there, use all those emojis. Just let her know. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're doing the giveaway. We're interviewing 2 creators. We're also going to see the trailer for Nottingham, which is really good. So I'm going to play that. But first I wanted to read you a little blurb. So in case you're new, in case you're like, what is Nottingham about? Well, okay. In this twisted medieval noir, the sheriff of Nottingham hunts a serial killer with a penchant for tax collectors. The sheriff's investigation makes him the target of England's most nefarious power brokers. That's to say nothing of the merry men, terrorists lurking amongst the trees of Sherwood, led by the enigma known only as Hood. So, it's a twisted noir take on, an old classic Robin Hood. And it's beautiful. The art is stunning. It's dark and gritty. Like, it's, kind of reminiscent of, like, The Dark Knight. And so it's funny to go from, like, I don't know about you, but, like, my, I guess, take on Robin Hood is, like, the animal version that, like, Disney did, with the foxes. So to go from, like, that, especially, like, that version of Little John to this version of Little John, who we'll get into, we'll talk about with the creators, is just, like, so fun. And it's just really good. It's dark, and it's, everything's gray. Like, I mean, like, the characters, like, you tend to think that you're going to be all for Robin Hood, but then you're not sure. Like, everybody has layers, and everybody has histories, and, like, some of the narration is done through song, and it's just a stellar team, just an all-star team. So I'm really excited to get in and talk to them about it. Everyone's frowning. I mean, there wasn't a lot to smile about, right? Like, there was a lot going on. There wasn't. It was, medieval times were rough. Wasn't a lot to make you smile back then. But it's just so beautiful. I can't say enough good things. Okay, let's watch the trailer, and then so much brooding. So much brooding. But you know what? Shane's art was just meant to brood. He's just his characters, his art is just natural brooders, so it works. Okay, let's play a trailer. That's really good. Get your headphones. Make sure you can hear the full audio escape. And yeah, we'll be right back. Okay.
Hi, Jazzlyn.
Give a little
Hello.
wave.
Hey,
Hi.
everybody.
Chat, let us know if you can hear us. Let us know if you can see us. Give us a proof of life if you can.
Should I hold up like a newspaper with today's date on it?
Well, you're in the future, so that might make all of us over here in North America a little confused. What time is it there again, David?
It's 4:15 a.m.
Thank you so much
You're
for
a
doing
trooper, buddy.
this.
Yeah. One day, your viewers will get uh something more than like a barely conscious me, and maybe they're not prepared for that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you're like when it's not 4 a.m. for you, right? Like, I don't know what like a noon David is like.
Yeah. Maybe it's much more chill. I don't know. It's hard to tell from the inside.
Even more chill.
You're like, there's less internal screaming. Oh yeah, chat wants to know. Can you give us the lotto numbers for the winners tomorrow or today's winners?
No, but I can tell you a lot about when the tax man is coming, or maybe he's not coming because he got murdered. I
Ooh.
that's all I got. I can do taxes, not windfalls from the lottery. Sorry guys.
Cool. Okay, so how about you both introduce yourselves? Shane, let's start with you. Would you like? Can you
My
introduce
name
yourself?
is, yes, my name is Shane Connery Volk. I am the artist on Nottingham, and I'm living in Calgary, Alberta right now, Canada.
And my name is David Hazan, and I am the writer of Nottingham, and I live in Melbourne, Australia.
And you just moved, right?
I did just move. This is my new office, which is why you've got like a bare wall. I'm trying to fix that, but need some Nottingham art, and someone refuses to send.
Well,
Yeah.
now that you're at a new address, maybe I'll have something in the mail for you.
I would love
Ooh,
that.
that's awesome. Yeah, I think I know somebody who can help you out with that. Maybe I can pull some strings, at the Mad Cave office and try to get you some art. I know some
Oh
people.
no, it's original art or bust for me. I need to bleed Shane dry.
You're like, I want to smell the ink, Shane.
Yeah.
We have somebody. Oh, we have somebody from Melbourne, Florida. So I don't know if there's
Oh,
if you both
Oh,
have like matching bridges or something. If you're sister cities in some way. If you can do like you
I
put a
have
piece of bread
no
on the
idea.
ground.
I do know that I think Dave Galliano of Savage Bastards from Mad Cave lives in Melbourne, Florida. That's just off the top of my head. Um, so if that's Dave, hi. I cannot see the chat.
It might be. Yeah, I don't know. Great artwork and beautiful story. They like your work, so
thank you very much.
yeah. Okay. So just because everyone always asks this every comics interview that's ever been, right? How did you both break into comics?
Well, I guess I'll go first. This is my first comic book. Um, so the Mad Cave Studios talent search is the answer to that question. Um,
Yep.
I'd been writing comics sort of for myself for a little while, maybe about a year. Been reading comics for a little more than that, but I'd been writing for a very long time in other media, and decided that uh, I'd try my hand at Mad Cave's talent search, and I won. And I pitched Nottingham, and here we are.
So you pitched
Yeah.
it to them.
Yeah, so they asked me for a noir, and I pitched them Nottingham, and this is this is where we are today.
Cool. And Shane, how about you? How'd you get into comics?
Uh, Same thing for me. Yeah, I entered the contest. I've been a professional musician for 20 years. So I
Congrats.
figured that being on tour for 10 to 11 months out of the year wasn't enough work. So I figured why not add some comic book art on top of that? so I entered the contest as well, and won. So yeah, and like David said, now here we are. And then of course with COVID and stuff, I had more than enough time to do the artwork. Um, Still waiting patiently to get back on stage. So yeah, and now here we are.
Nice. Have you thought about like incorporating your drawing into your music playing, like drawing on stage while you're playing?
I couldn't imagine a more boring show than a guy sitting on stage just drawing a picture. Well, maybe it could happen. I've
You
always
could
done
do
our
it. You
what's
could do
that?
it like comedically, drawing,
Like
but then you
drawing
turn it around and it's upside down, and you've drawn the entire thing upside down, and then you spin it around, and it's like,
like we
I'm
know
not.
that you just said you have 20 years experience, but let David and I workshop your stage presence cuz like we've
Hey,
never done it, but we have some really good ideas.
there's always time for some new ideas, you know. But I've always done our design merch, T-shirts, and stuff like that. So I've incorporated it that way, but not so much on stage.
Is that how you got into drawing? Were you like
Um, well,
starting with
honestly, I
t-shirt design?
comics were first for me when I was a kid, just getting into artwork. And David and I were just talking about my penchant for early '90s like image art and that sort of stuff. So I kind of fell in love with that and started drawing. And then I got sidetracked playing music for a while, which I'm not done by any means. But once I got into music, art sort of went to the side a little bit, and now it's back. So yeah, it was art first before music.
That's awesome. And so how does it feel to like I don't know, like your first, so you've been wanting to get into comics for a long time. You finally get into
Yeah.
comics and your first comic is in fourth printing, third printing, second printing. Like what is the
Isn't that just how it works?
yeah, it's always like this. This is completely
yeah, I mean,
normal.
extrapolating from known information, right?
Yeah.
A
What's
sample size of one.
yeah. It's crazy, honestly. Like I'm floored, like every day, just finding out how well it's been doing. And I'm sure David's the same. I have so many friends that are like, I've calling everywhere. It's sold out everywhere. And, can
So
you get
many.
me copies? I'm like, I don't have a bunch of copies to give. So, um, yeah, but it's been, how else can you say it? It's awesome. It's also I was not expecting it. So, I'm thrilled.
And how about for you, David? First comic
Oh,
out of the gate.
same answer. You go into this trying to temper your own expectations. I think that's part of just being a creative, in that you you've you've almost taught yourself not to really, at times not to really back yourself, and then all of a sudden, the thing that you thought might do okay does, exceedingly well. And it's a little like, it's equally surprising and validating.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, because you don't want to be you you have to be ready for disappointment in any kind of field like this, and just be ready for rejection. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? And so I know I was like, it's okay. People are gonna probably hate your art, and you'll get better, and it's gonna be, you kind of tell yourself this stuff. So as it gets accepted and people are loving the story and the art, yeah, it's an interesting feeling because you think you're gonna have the complete opposite reaction. But that's like David said, that's just the artist in you waiting to get torn apart by everybody. So
Hmm. Yeah, like the one that was like, I've been rejected so many times before. Why would this be any different? And then suddenly
yeah.
everyone's like, just kidding. We love it completely. And you're like,
Like,
or this could
great.
happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
this is also good.
Um, so we have a couple of questions in the chat. Is an issue run a standard unit of measure? Just wondering if anyone knows how many copies are out in the world. Maybe Manny can answer that in chat, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, let's give a shout out to the other, because this is like a stacked team. So we have, hold on, I wrote everybody down because I hate like potentially forgetting people, right?
It's a good call.
So writer, artist, and then Luca Romano is the colorist, which he's doing an incredible job with your art.
Absolutely.
Jomette Gill is the letterer, one of my favorite letterers in the game. And then we have 2 editors, Chris Fernandez, who might be in chat, and Brian Hawkins, who we had on the Mad Cave Showcase last time. And you 3 together is just so fun. Oh, and then we have Diana Bermudez as the book designer, which also doing an incredible job. So this is like a stacked team. Did you all know each other before you got to work together? Did everybody meet on this project? What has that been like?
Yeah, I mean, we all met, across
We
the
all
course of doing this. Yeah, we still haven't met in person, but I think the definition of met has really been broadened the last year. So we all met electronically doing this project, like in stages. So first it was me, Shane, and Brian, and then we added Luca, and then I guess there's also Chris Fernandez. We can't forget Chris Fernandez on the front end of that. And then Jomette came on for letters, and you know what? It's just been such a great experience, even though we're spread across the world.
Yeah, like
I think
3 countries, right? 4 countries.
Yeah, I think it is.
4
Yeah,
countries.
Yeah. I'm so used to talking like this now. I think when cons are back, I'm gonna just bring my laptop, and just David, I can't look you in the face, so just can you call me so I can just talk to my screen?
His beauty is just too much in person, right? You're like, I can't just FaceTime
I can't
me from
do it.
around the corner.
I think it might actually be 5 countries. If you check with the Mad Cave team, I think our designers might actually be somewhere in South America. So
so 5 countries.
I think it might be 5 countries.
So this is
That's
an
awesome.
international success.
It
International
is.
team, international success.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And David, I think you were saying that you tried to go like pick it up at a local shop and it was sold out by the time you got there.
Oh yeah, like I I just wanted to get to see it on the stands. I've never seen it on the stands. It's just been sold out every single time. So
I feel like you should just bring your own copy in and just be like, I just
And
need
put
a
it-
photo
yeah,
and just
put
put
it-
it on, take a photo and be like, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I'll sign copies.
Somebody
if
will
they ever
probably
come
buy
in.
it on you though.
Yeah. You might be right.
You
from
put it
what
up. Some kid just snatches
from what my
it.
retailer friends have been telling me, that's exactly how it's been going. So
Chat, if you see
Yeah.
a copy of Nottingham out in the wild, grab it immediately.
take a photo and then grab it.
Hold it while it's on the stand so nobody else
Yeah.
grabs it. Take
True,
a photo and then go buy it. Yeah, those first prints are selling for some crazy money.
I know, that's insane. Some of the prices on those are
Yeah.
I don't. Is there a way?
I don't really get the whole collector thing, but I appreciate that section of the community. I just don't really understand it.
You appreciate that they're collecting you specifically?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so back to like when you were young and you had hopes of getting into comics, what was the first comic that you read that made you think, oh, I want to do this. I want to get into comic books?
David, you go first, buddy.
Oh, I'm going first? Okay, well,
Yeah.
when I was young is about 3 years ago in this context, because that's when I started reading comics to any serious extent. And some colleagues of mine gifted me a copy of Batwoman Elegy to shut me up from talking about pop culture stuff. They were like, here, read this. And it kind of snowballed from there. Like, that book is so beautiful with the J.H. Williams art. And Greg Rucka's writing is phenomenal, and it had a main character that was a superhero and queer and Jewish, and I was just like hooked. And I think it opened me up to the possibilities of the kinds of stories you can tell in comics that just can't be told anywhere else. So that's my answer.
That's beautiful. And Shane, how about you?
Well, I was like 12, I think, when The Death of Superman came out, and I grew up on a farm, so we didn't have, there was no comic books really anywhere. So when I started, I remember seeing that, and I'm like, oh, I got to go buy this thing because it was such a big deal at the time. So that was like an introduction into comics, and then I found a little comic shop in the city nearest our farm. So that got me into it. But once I got into that comic store, and you were like, oh man, like there's so much stuff. So I just started, I discovered like Todd McFarlane stuff. And like I was saying before, tons of that kind of early 90s, the crazy, as David and I laugh about, I never really read comics. I just looked at all the pictures and just got, like, as an artist, you just get lost in it, right? Like you get lost in the visuals. And then years later, I started going back to actually read them and found that that was pretty fun too. So
So like you would
Hope so.
look at the art like subconsciously. You just want to read the letters. Like you would just like go through
no,
it.
I wouldn't look at it. No, I wouldn't look at it sequentially. I would
Oh, you were
look
just
at all
like,
this. It was like splash pages first, then start going back to look at all the action and like just, as a kid, that was what I just couldn't believe the detail and just how what these people could draw. It just blew my mind. The art blew my mind. So, but then as time's gone on, obviously, I mean, like David just said, comics have changed in such great ways. There's such diverse stories now. I mean, it's not just superhero everything, which I love a good superhero story, but even the superhero stories are maturing and the readers are maturing.
yeah.
So there's tons of good stuff out there, and I mean, now I'm into a lot of different types of art too. Like like David and I were talking about Jock, and when I was a kid, the first time I saw Mike Mignola, I was like, "This is crap. Like, where's the action?" But now I can't get enough of it. That's just.
Somebody clip that
um,
section and send it to Mike Mignola.
and I can't get enough of it now. Now I like look at Mike Mignola stuff, and I'm like, "How does he do it? How do you do it this good, this simple?" So yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
for
be
sure.
discovering new things like that all the time.
So when you're drawing a comic, do you start with the splash pages first? Does that reflect how you actually draw it out, or do you like go through page by page?
Mostly I've been going through page by page because I find that if I don't want to do all the fun stuff. I mean, it's all the more you draw, the more you have fun doing everything. I mean, the big action set pieces they're really cool, but a lot of times now I'm really getting into more even just talking head stuff. It becomes more interesting the more get expression and faces and start really getting into what human beings would look like doing this, not just like, oh, it's another talking head scene. Like you know. So I like kind of going sequentially because then when I get to a big splash page, it's like, okay, great, I get to do this now. I
Yeah.
haven't saved it or I haven't gotten it out of the way and left myself 18 pages of, you know, less actiony stuff.
So David,
I didn't give you all that many of those splash pages, but
yeah,
That's good. I
it's
needed
something
that,
we're
buddy.
working on.
I needed it.
if we haven't done issue 5 yet, which I guess are we all wrapped up on art for issue 5?
Yes.
We've been
Yeah.
wrapped up on art for quite a while.
Yeah.
Oh wow. All right. Well, if you ever work together again, more splash pages is what I'm hearing. Every page a splash page.
Yeah.
Note taken.
Yeah.
try to see if Mad Cave will do one of those like fold out ones, so it's like, an 8-page splash page.
Yeah.
Just a
Did you
tip.
take notes on that, buddy?
David's like, everybody has an opinion. Cool. He's like, this is not why I woke up at 3
I
a.m.
am the perfect collaborator. Okay.
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm excited to see. Ugh. So I've read 3 issues.
Awesome. What did you think, Jazzlyn?
I love it. Are you kidding me? I've read 3. I've only read 3 issues, but I've read them. I think. I've read the first issue 3 times. Second issue. Actually, I think I've read all of them 3 times. Yeah. So obviously, I'm a big fan of it. Like I said at the top of the, oh, you might have missed it. I was saying it's like, it kind of reminds me of like Dark Knight, that like noir, gritty style. And it's funny because like when I heard, Nottingham, like in my head, I was thinking of like the Disney version with the foxes and everybody's like, let's all help each other out. And that's not what this is. And Little John, can we talk about your version of Little John? Because he gets introduced in issue 3. And I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but like, can we just talk about Little John? Because he's not little, and he's not merry. He's terrifying.
Yeah, he's not merry, and he's definitely not little, for
He's
sure.
No. I'm not sure where the
ripped.
human growth hormone came from, but
he looks like Bane. He's just
yeah, that's a
muscles
good
on muscles.
comparison,
Yeah.
actually. Bane
Well,
carrying a big stick.
yeah, a stick with horns.
Yeah. So why? I don't know. Like,
Why is he so extreme? You can ask.
yeah. Why is
You
Little
know-
John so extreme?
I think for me, I know that he's written as this, big imposing, he's Robin Hood's right-hand guy, right? So he's the intimidator. And I thought, because it's my first artwork, right? And it was set in this time period, and I'm a history fanatic. So I was really like, all the details have to be perfect, and I wanted to be like, have a sense of realism, even though my style's kind of hyper stylized. But by the time I got to this issue and I thought about Little John, I'm like, look, dude, it's a comic book. You got to blow something up. Like, so I decided Little John had to be blown up. He needed to be visually just a monster. Like, I just wanted him to be like the Hulk, so that he could, he just would be seen amongst all the merry men, mask on or not. He's just a monster and absolute intimidation. That's his whole deal.
Chat's
So-
calling him an absolute unit. He's
Yeah.
all the units.
I think that is a Britishism that became an Australianism as well.
Oh, it's in the
A
States
unit?
too.
An absolute unit. It
Yeah.
means that they're built.
Yeah.
That like a unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
Yeah. But I wrote that. Well, I don't think I gave you much other than like he was big and with a beard, and that's
Yeah.
And you were like, got
Like,
you.
sweet. Gotcha.
The Hulk. That's what you meant when you said he's big with a beard. The Hulk.
Yeah.
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 It's really exciting.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that, because he was so fun to draw. And I mean, he's in further books and gets a little more, fleshed out and stuff, but he was super fun to draw. Just absolute, like I said, absolute Hulk type character.
Sorry, the colorist is in chat and said, don't give Shane these ideas. I'll have to color so many crowds otherwise. Okay, so splash pages, but not crowds. Minimalist splash pages, let's say. Yeah, sorry. We'll make sure we weren't giving too much extra work.
No, it's all good. You need crowd scenes to keep artists and colorists honest. You need them. It can't just be fancy close-ups. You need giant crowd scenes.
I
There's a
mean,
lot of
I was
them.
told I was told that like in comics you have no budget, so you can do whatever you want, right?
Yeah, great philosophy. It's a great theory.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. There's also
Yeah.
maybe the physical budget of your colorist and your artist. They can only
Yeah.
do so
Look,
many
I'm not the one
faces.
getting the hand cramps, so
Oh, that's great. That's great. David, there's this pretty intense fight scene in issue 2. Do you know which one I'm
Mhm.
talking about?
well, there are 2 fight scenes. So you're talking about the one at the beginning or the one at the end?
The one at the end.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
like that fight scene.
How do you go into like choreographing that in the script?
Flailing my arms around like an idiot is
While you're writing?
what I do. Kind of like I will stop writing, stand up, and try to imagine the positions of the characters, because I think that it's important to like have a realistic idea of where things are, so that I don't give Shane a vague description and he has to like just summon like something that matches that description.
Yeah.
So instead, I kind of like, without shooting his reference shots for him, because that's his. I think his personal pleasure to shoot all those reference photos. But
Oh, we will talk about those reference photos.
yeah, I just like I acted out so that I understand that it's realistic, to make sure that I can communicate what I need to communicate to Shane without him going, huh?
Yeah.
Like that's not physically possible.
And Shane, on the other end of that, are you doing the same thing? Like, are you literally taking reference photos of that fight and then drawing it?
Yeah, absolutely. I got more and more into taking reference photos as the series went, just to get, like David said, you want things to look right, and I mean to get anatomy right, especially with those kind of dynamic movements, is tough to do just out of your mind. So, and also because it's not a superhero story, right? I mean, if Superman's punching a bad guy, he can go flying 100 feet and break, crash into a building, but this is, especially that scene is two guys really beating the crap out of each other, and it's not pretty like it is in movies. It's not fancy. So it was cool the way David wrote it, was all on the page, and I just tried to translate it right. It's like two guys that are just going all out, and it's not a pretty fight, and it's not, and it's not supposed to be, and it
Yeah.
doesn't end well. So
Yeah, it's
And
it's
the
a
other
realistic fight, I would say.
yeah,
the other
yeah,
thing I think I tried to put into it is that I wanted to make sure that every single fight scene in this book felt different, um, because I often, like when I'm reading, especially stuff from the same writer, and like it's almost like some of the fight scenes get recycled, and like obviously it's different because there are different artists involved and what have you, but you can see in the scripting like phase that similar fight scenes are being reused, and it may not be conscious, it just may be how the person thinks. But I just tried to make sure that each of the fight scenes felt unique and plot driven, and I think that one especially stands out to me as one that really is, because nobody is using a sword, because you know the characters may or may not want to cause permanent damage to each other. They're just going all out with their fists, and
It's scary.
that's it. That's the plot, you know, driving the action, which is kind of what you want as a writer.
Yeah, and then Shane, you posted some of your reference photos on Twitter, so I just posted a link to it. But you can say no, but would you be willing to post more of your reference photos on Twitter after this ends?
oh yeah, absolutely, I can do that. I love when artists post stuff like that, because I think sometimes, especially historically, I think artists are pretty secretive with their process, and I love watching how you're. It's cool to see your favorite artist is like, I couldn't get this right, so here's a picture of me kicking into midair, and and then trying to figure it out, and it's also just fun because
Yeah.
half the fun of drawing is doing that stuff now, because I have like my Highlander sword here from my favorite movie, Highlander 1. So I get to use that a lot for these reference photos, which is a ton of fun.
That's
But it's
awesome.
cool because you could get out from behind your desk, take some photos, and it's cool to, especially for the fight scenes, craft some of this. So yeah, I'll post more.
Sweet. So everyone go follow Shane for those sweet reference photos. I'm so excited to see them because you posted like 3, like a collage.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, I need these like 4K on Twitter.
Okay, I'll get you some. I'll get you some good ones.
Sweet.
I've got them all. I've got them all saved. I could do a giveaway where it's like, if you can tell me what picture this reference is for and from what issue, maybe I could do a giveaway or something like that.
Ah, that'd be really cool. Yeah. Speaking of which, we're doing a giveaway here. We'll be doing it in the next,
Oh yeah.
let's say, 5 minutes. So chat, go ahead and type in Nottingham ! In the chat. That's Nottingham exclamation mark Nottingham exclamation. Yeah, and then we're doing a giveaway. Let me see if I can show you.
Awesome. Great looking covers too. The variants are awesome.
Yeah.
More looking at the covers. Let's look at these two creators' beautiful faces. Okay, we're getting a lot of questions in chat
All right.
about, is this going to go past 5 issues? So right now in previews, issue 5. Do you have any plans for a second arc? Anything that you can spill to us or wink at us? Or
You want me to take this?
Yeah,
and leave you blameless, Shane.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'd love
Okay.
4 a.m. David's like.
Yeah, I got this. I'm a lawyer. It's fine. I think when you get given a set limit of issues to write, you write to the limit that you're given. But I will say, where we leave this is a place where it could be picked up, and ultimately that is in the hands of our dear viewers today, and anybody else who watches this, or anybody else who's a fan of this book. Go to your store if you can safely. Otherwise, order it online. Call them. Grab a copy, as many of the issues as you can. The more you buy in, and I assume anybody watching has already well and truly bought into our hype. But the more you buy in, the greater the chance that we can keep doing this. And I would love to keep doing this forever. So.
Aww. 1,000 years, Nottingham. Yeah, so now everyone in chat is like, at Mad Cave Studios, we need Nottingham season 2. Yeah, so everyone, hit up Mad Cave on Twitter, hit them up on Instagram, hit them up here in chat. Like, let Mad Cave know. Let these mods know. We want Arc 2. And while you're at it, go pre-order issue 4. I mean, obviously pick up issue 3 next week, but pre-order issue 4, pre-order issue 5, because that'll also help a lot. Like, when a publisher, pre-order is really important, because when a publisher and local comic shops and the distribution can see that a comic is going to do really well, or is doing really well, or there's a high demand, it helps them, one, like, you know, work in a second, third, sometimes fourth if you're incredible like these two, like the whole team, printing. And it just gives them a little bit of a heads up, like, oh, we have a hit on our hands. So, yeah. Pre-orders are the best way to help creators.
Yeah.
And
Which
then
also, don't miss out, because that's the thing that happens apparently. Like, go order it now. Open a new tab. Keep watching us. New tab. Go order. Do it. I'm not selling this hard enough, apparently.
You're doing a great job.
I was gonna say, if I ever have a car I need to sell, can I just fly you over to do the legwork for me?
I don't do cars. I do comics. Cars are beyond me. I can do, like, you press pedal, it goes. Like, that's my limit
pedal.
on cars.
I think the jury's still out on that one, actually.
Well, does it go? Because it's gonna be a hard sell if it doesn't.
Okay, and then I got a couple more questions. Like, what's next for you two? Is there anything else that you're working on that you can tell us about?
I can't. I have stuff, but nothing I can really say yet. So,
okay.
but definitely more. Oh yeah, it's always the hard answer, because
Yeah.
it's always true. It's like there are things that will happen, but you can't know right now.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. I mean, I got one that I can talk about. I got a story in an anthology from an Australian publisher called Gestalt. Um, the anthology is a sci-fi anthology called Axiom. Should be coming late this year, early next year. Best place to find out what either of us are doing is to follow us on Twitter, or Shane, maybe Instagram is better for you. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, if you're still there.
yeah.
Nice.
Follow us when we're doing whatever, and I'm speaking for you here, Shane. We'll probably hit social media about it incessantly. So that is the best place to find out what we're doing next when we can talk about it.
Yep.
Ooh, Stevroid says, "You're doing great. I've got everything available for pre-order ordered." So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank
That's
you so
awesome.
much. And we got to say thanks, because honestly, this it's been a crazy hit, and without people buying up all of these books and ordering, and yeah, we can't thank comic people enough, all the fans, and just it's crazy. I don't know, it's crazy, but thank you to everybody, especially during the pandemic, who are still ordering and getting
Yeah.
stuff online and going to the shop, like David said, when it's safe to go. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
It's
Thank you.
symbiotic, right? Because, like,
Oh,
you know, if your team wasn't so cohesive, if they weren't so locked in making such a great comic, then the fans wouldn't be there. But if the fans weren't there to, like, be building up the hype and inspiring you to, do better and do more, so it's one of those chicken and the egg situations where it's like, which comes first? They both need each other. They both kind of happen at the same time.
Yeah.
It's quite rare to see it happen so quickly, especially for a first book. So it's really been like inspiring.
what's the word, Jazzlyn?
Inspiring,
Yes.
but also, like, I'm just so proud of you. Like, I don't really know either of you too well, but I'm just so proud of you both and the whole team and Mad Cave, because it's just like, fuck yeah, like, you did it. Like, I'm sorry to swear on stream, but, like, you did it. Like, it's so cool. So every time it's like, this is, fourth printing, third printing, second printing, it's just like, I'm like, yes, like, how high can this go? How many printings can we get? So
We'll take as many as we can get.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, someone said, I didn't realize number 3 was pushed today. I was first in line at my local comic shop for Nottingham. Thank you so much. I think that's Eric210. Thank you. Yeah, it got pushed to next week. You know how it is, shipping, and I'm sure something else got stuck in a canal somewhere, and it was on there. And
Oh, no.
yeah. So thank you for getting in line. Sorry you couldn't pick it up today. I hope you did get some cool stuff today. It will be available next week, though, so make sure that you're back in line next week. Okay. Should we do the giveaway? Do you want to do, like, a drum roll?
Let's do it.
Musician.
I'm not a drummer, though. Come on. Okay, drum roll.
Thank you. Okay. Let's do this. Announcing the giveaway winner. This person will win 2 copies of Nottingham, and the winner is Cousin Seal.
Cousin Seal.
Cousin Seal.
Nice. Nicely done. Congratulations.
Congrats,
Aww.
bud.
Yay! Yeah, they won! Congrats! That's so exciting. Okay. So, if you can get in contact with us, maybe Manny can drop his email, or you can just DM Mad Cave. We'll make sure to
he'll
get
be
that
in
to
contact.
Yeah,
He's a really lovely guy, sweet podcaster. Check out his podcast as well while you're at it. I believe
perfect.
it's just called The Cousin Cecile Show. There's an episode featuring me, as well as some other Mad Cave creators. So yeah, you should check that out while you're at it.
Oh,
And
nice.
Congrats,
Yeah,
bud.
get in touch with us.
Yeah.
We have some incredibly rare, apparently, naked variants for you. All right, so our time's almost up. This flew by. You're both delightful.
Yeah, that went fast.
Well,
we love you too, Jazzlyn. Thank you so much.
Tell us where we can follow you. Tell us how we can support you, and any last advice for somebody breaking into comics.
Go ahead, buddy.
All right. So best place to follow me is on Twitter at David T, the letter T. Hazan, Hazan. I'm spelling it if you can't read, but you're all reading comics, so I assume you can. uh, and my last advice for anyone breaking into comics, I guess, I've said this before, but do the work. Like, you don't, especially as a writer, you can write scripts without the intention of them getting produced. Like, ultimately, producing comics is what breaks you into comics, but do the practice, write the scripts. You don't have to produce every single script that you write, but get some scripts down. Yeah, that's the one for me that I think is really important.
And sorry, Shane, before we go, I did have a question in chat. How many drafts do you have in the works right now?
How many drafts?
Or for David, like how many like project drafts do you have right now? Untold number? Is this like the Prince Vault? Where in like a year that you're just gonna have all these projects coming out? Okay, I think this is lawyer for maybe you'll find out soon. That's how I'm taking this.
That lawyer face. You
This
can't break through it. You can't break through it.
It's so cold. My heart. It's icing over. David is lawyering
I'm not answering the question.
Okay.
And Shane's not answering the question. So.
All right, Shane, where can people follow you? Where can they find you? And how can they support you?
Yeah. Twitter, Instagram. I'm still on Facebook as well. And then my website, shaneconneryvolk.com. That gets you everywhere too. I'm going to have some prints coming out pretty soon. First series of prints coming out. So those are the easiest places to find me. So, and you can support me by buying more Nottingham and just buying more comic books and just loving this medium as much as we do.
Perfect. And any advice for somebody breaking into comics as an artist?
The advice is really the same. David said it perfectly. Like for art, just like writing, you got to just do it. If you love it, you got to do it. You try to do it every day, and work with people. If you can write your own stuff and try to draw off pages, or as I started to do before I did the Mad Cave contest, just find scripts online. This is a great piece of advice I got from somebody: is draw from scripts. Like take old comic scripts, draw 2 or 3 pages, and then go look at what the artist, the real artist, did, and compare your work. It was a really eye-opening thing for me to see, and to help your brain process drawing story and not just drawing big actiony set pieces. So that's my advice.
That's really good advice, actually. Thank you for that. All right, this has been lovely. I'm going to say goodbye to you both. Thank you so much for calling at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., David. Thanks for joining us. Shane, thank you for joining us. You're always lovely to talk to.
No problem.
Let's go get Arc 2, y'all. In chat.
Let's do it.
Once again, keep poking Mad Cave. Keep telling him you want Arc 2.
Yeah. Thanks, Jazzlyn. Thanks,
right.
everybody.
Thank you so much.
Just post their email addresses there. It's fine.
All right. Well, we're not doxing the, Mad Cave. Like, we all work
it's
for
them. It's for a good cause. What are you talking about?
Okay, we'll be right back, y'all.
See you guys.
I'm back. Just had to say goodbye to them. Thank them for coming on. Just like, I love this team, including Jamette, including Chris, just the whole team. Luca, who I think is in chat still, like, just Brian, everybody, Diana, like, just such a kind, supportive, talented team. It's really, how do I put this? It's really, again, inspiring, but also just like, I don't know, you know, when you see people like doing what they were meant to do and it just feels good, like you're just like, oh yeah, like when you see a good team being kind to each other and doing good work together, it's just like, this is what comics is all about. Aww, thank you so much. This was a great stream. Congratulations to Cuz for winning. Thanks for everyone for being here. This was episode 2 of Transmissions from the Cave. I hope you had as much fun as I did. This flew by. Like, I had so many other questions. Like, I had some real nitty-gritty questions. We'll just have to have them on again. Talk more about Nottingham. And, you know, they're not here anymore. Let's get issue 3 into a third printing. It's not even out yet, but let's do it. Let's get it into a third printing. That's incredible. All right. Want to say some thank yous because I am your host, Jazzlyn Stone. I get to be here on screen, but I am not the only one who does this. I have a whole beautiful, lovely team behind me. So thank you to our mods and our producers. So this is Allison, Asia, Chris, Manny, Frank, Mark, Gio, the entire Mad Cave staff, especially the designers. Thank you to the Mad Cave designers for making these cool, sweet little overlays, the videos, the cool new countdown that we added this time. Thank you to Allison for directing that, and thank you for the designers for making that. Thank you to everybody who watched, everybody who was active in chat, everybody who maybe this was their first time in a chat. Welcome. Thank you for, you know, making contact. Everybody who subscribed or followed the new Mad Cave Twitch channel. Like, we're past 50 followers, I think, which is incredible because this is our second stream. So thank you to everybody who followed. Thank you to our subscribers. And thank you to all the local comic shops that, like, who stock Mad Cave, who support Mad Cave, who, like, talk about it with their readers, with their fans. I love the comics community. I love being a part of this. It's accepting and awesome, and I'm getting a little bit weepy, so I'll tone it down. I'll tell you what, I just got my second COVID shot, and so I'm feeling very, like, grateful for the world. I'm feeling very grateful for the community. So I'm sorry I'm being a little sappy today, but I just adore this community so much. 55! Yes! So excited. So many followers. Oh, thank you. Cheers for the Vax. Thank you so much. Yeah, it feels really good. Go out and get it if you haven't had, if you have the chance to get it, I would recommend it because the feeling of hope you get, my gosh, it's incredible. Okay. Oh my gosh, Bink. It's been getting dropped. I didn't get a chance to mention Bink. Mad Cave supports Bink, and Bink is I think they're going to talk about it. Yeah, thank you so much. So you can donate to Bink. Bink is a 501c3, a nonprofit that, like, helps booksellers kind of when they're going through financial crisis or if they have any financial emergencies come up. So they grew out of a wish for bookstore employees to establish a fund to help their colleagues experiencing unexpected financial crises. Obviously, a lot of bookstores and comic shops are having financial crises right now. So if you have some extra cash and you want to help put it somewhere good, Bink is a great place to do that. So, yeah, let's take care of each other. Yeah, and if you liked this episode, we have another one next week, same time, same channel, 11 a.m. Pacific. What is that? 2 Eastern. And as we just found out, like 4 a.m. in Melbourne. Thank you so much, David. So if you liked this episode, next week we'll be doing a live drawing with Sweeney Boo! Yes! So excited for that. We're just going to be chilling. I'm going to be asking her some questions, and she's just going to be drawing for us live. Incredible! Who knew? The future. Huh. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. This has been lovely. I've been your host, Jazzlyn Stone. Thank you to Mad Cave. I'll see you all next week. Stay hydrated, y'all. Bye!